Hi, this is John from Flat Cat Gear. Today we're going to be doing another unboxing. Today we're going to unbox a 700 milliliter mug made by Evernew. This unboxing is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison with a Snow Peak 700 mug. This is how the pot arrives. 0.75 liter, 25 fluid ounces. So let's do a side-by-side comparison between the Evernew mug and the Snow Peak mug. Okay, first up, this is the Snow Peak 700 mug, standard lid. This one weighs 4.5 ounces. This is our Evernew. It's 3.2 ounces, so a full ounce less in weight. That's what's really slick about these Evernew pots. They are extremely light, extremely well made. Let's look at the handle differences. Both of them have folding handles. Probably the biggest difference is if you look at the Evernew has a high temperature silicone coated handle on it. Other than that, both handles fold to the side and are easy to grip. Probably the biggest difference you're going to see is the lid. Now, I gotta tell you, this Snow Peak 700, it's a great value. I hate the lid. It took me a while to realize that that little hook there was so you can support your lid, but I never do that anyway. I'm not real wild about the little hooks that you have to hook the top of the pot. What I really like about this Evernew pot is if you take a look at it, that's a stainless steel lid. That lid stays on. It takes a certain amount of force to pull it apart, and it snaps in. It's got a built-in strainer and vent holes. My two biggest complaints about this pot is, number one, Evernew markets it as a pasta pot, which I think is ridiculous. It should be, they should just call it a 700 milliliter, 750 milliliter mug. The second thing I'm not wild about is this lid, the handle anyway. Seems like it's a big beefy handle. I've talked to the people at Evernew about it. This design has been around for 20 years and they really don't see any reason to change that. But other than that, you've got a tight snap fitting Evernew lid. So in a nutshell, let's talk about this. This is the Snow Peak 700 mug. I consider this somewhat the standard mug for backpacking. It's got a nice lid on it. This is the Evernew 700 mug. So if I compare the two, I think both mugs are great mugs. And for the dollar, I think they're pretty equivalent. But this is my recommendation. There's a lot of people who hate this lid and they'll buy a new lid. So now let's start talking about if you're going to do an apples to apples comparison between these two. The Evernew mug in 2012 had a list price of $57.50. It's pretty expensive and it's a quality mug. The Snow Peak had a list price of $44.95. So say 45 bucks. So this is why I'm making this video. I've seen people and they said, okay, well, I'll just get rid of this lid. It's a steel lid and I'll get an aluminum lid. So to get an aluminum lid, I know Mini Bool Design sells them. They're 10 bucks. And then you got to pay shipping costs. So now you're at 45 and you've gone up another 10 bucks to 55. The other thing people do is they take the handles off and they get silicone tubing and slip the tubing over. So now you go to some place like McMaster Car, you got to buy some tubing that'll cost you a couple bucks and shipping costs you a couple bucks. So then at the end of the day, if you were going to take this mug, add silicone tubing handles to it and an aluminum handle, aluminum lid to it, you'd actually pay more money than you would for the Evernew stove and this the Evernew pot. And this Evernew pot right off weighs an ounce less. So that's why I'm saying, if you like the Snow Peak 700, it's a good value if you leave it the way it is. If you're going to upgrade it, you'll probably be better off going to the Evernew right away. Now, the Evernew is a pricey mug. This is at, again, like I said, the list price was $57.50 in 2012. The way I look at it, it really comes down to what do you value over the period of time of your backpacking. If you're doing a couple of weekend trips a couple times a year, this is probably a great mug. Me, I'm on the trail as much as I can. You know, I figure this mug's going to last me 10 years, so I don't mind spending extra money for a mug like this. Besides just, I mean, the little fact that this mug, the lid slides off if you pick it up the wrong way. It's just one of those little bothersome, irksome things to me. So having this quality, having a lid that snaps on is well worth it to me. So it's a value question. Again, these two mugs right out of the box, I think they're pretty comparable in value. I go for the premium, spend a little bit more extra money, because in the long run, to me, this has more value. Now you can compare it to, you know, I look at it this way. Some of you guys watch other channels, and particularly channels that include knives. I mean, I'm not going to spend 400 bucks on a knife, but I will spend extra money on this gear because this adds value to me. So come visit us at www.flatcatgear.com.